Okay, hello guys. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 tips to make you an art god. So, tip number 1 is to use reference photos. This is kind of obvious, but it's the most important thing. Is every time, if you want to practice and get better at drawing hands, reference photos are absolutely essential because the learning curve is just way faster if you use references. Because it's very hard to learn when you're just taking ideas that are already in your brain. Whereas if you copy off of reference, you can add new things to your brain library, I guess. So another thing, because I know it's hard to find the perfect reference for every hand pose, because you want to draw this character and you want to have their hand like this or something, like going toward the camera, holding a gun, you want to have these cool poses, but you don't want to look for hours on Pinterest or Google. A super versatile tool, you have 2 of them. They're hands. So use your own hands. That is also super essential, is because you have this posable object right in front of you. Just if you're right-handed, pose your right hand. If you're left-handed, just pose your left hand. Just hold it like this while you draw, and you can just get a reference basically for any pose that you want to do. So I highly recommend, if you haven't tried it yet, just using your hand if you want to get a pose for a certain picture, and you don't have to look for a bunch of reference images. Tip number 2 is don't just copy the reference. Especially don't trace it. Because if you trace it, you don't learn very much from it. Like, you do learn more than just from trying to draw stuff from your imagination, but it still is way less than if you actually just break it down into shapes. So when you have a reference photo, the fastest way to learn how to draw hands is to copy it off of a reference photo and break down every segment of the reference photo so that you can look at them as 3D shapes, so that even though the reference photo is just a hand like this, you can think, oh, okay, so this is a cylinder, so when the hand is like this, it's just going to be this exact cylinder, but just rotated a little bit towards the camera more. So really break down the reference photo. That is tip number 2, to learn how to draw hands fast. Tip number 3 is to keep doing consistent practice. Now, I know, this is what everybody tells you. It's just in every single art video out there. But that's because it is a legitimate tip. It is pretty much the most important thing there is in art. Consistent practice. Because you are never going to get better if you don't practice. And if you consistently practice while using reference photos of hands, and you break down each reference photo, I promise you that you will become vastly better at drawing hands at the end of the year. And if you don't see any change, draw a hand and look back from the beginning of the year at hands that you drew at the beginning of the year. And trust me, there will be at least the most minute difference, if not a complete difference. So that is tip number 3, consistent practice. And I find this the hardest part, because drawing every day, finding time in my day, I don't have a very busy life, but even I find it hard to sit down and draw every single day. So I actually have a 365-day drawing prompt book, which I highly suggest. It's very helpful to practice drawing and consistently draw every day. But I've gotten off topic. We're talking about how to draw hands. So those are the 3 tips that will make you be able to learn how to draw hands, not only good, but fast. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to support my channel, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Helps me a bunch. If you have any video ideas, please drop them in the comments below. I will consider each idea, and yeah, peace out.